Gracefully, Grayson, Chapter 5. I let myself into the empty apartment and go straight to my room. I throw my backpack onto my bed as I watch my reflection in the mirror out of the corner of my eye. My black jeans are jeans. My oversized, long-sleeved t-shirt is a t-shirt. The girl in the leggings and dress who I struggled to see this morning was gone by the time I'd finished breakfast. I slammed my bedroom door and walked to the kitchen for some cereal. You're getting way too old to pretend, I tell myself. I shove what I wish I saw in the mirror out of my mind and think back instead to my conversation with Amelia. I wonder if she'll call me. Maybe I'll have a real friend again. I think, for the first time in forever, of Emma's apartment and how her mom would give us lunch on the kid-sized wooden table in her living room. I remember pink plastic bowls of macaroni and cheese and juice boxes. My body feels strange, like it's someone else's, and I shudder because I could be making a huge mistake. I bring my cereal into my room, avoiding the mirror this time. Instead, I pull out my sketch pad and colored pencils and focus on the field of flowers that I'm working on. I draw the flowers on their stems, each one different from the one next to it. I think about adding 2 girls in the middle of the field, but I hear the front door click open and Jack and Brett talking, so I slide the drawing into my drawer, take my math book out of my backpack, and start my homework instead. I glance at the clock. Aunt Sally and Uncle Evan will be home soon, too. There's a knock on my door, and Brett pokes his head in. "Hi, Grayson," he says through the crack. "What you doing?" "I need to show you something." "Cool, what is it?" I ask, putting down my pencil. He walks over to me until our noses are practically touching, and he opens his mouth. "You guess," he says as best he can with his mouth open wide. "What's different?" I peer inside. "Looks like there's a tooth missing," I say. He grins and pulls a tiny red plastic treasure chest out of his pocket. He pries it open to show me. I remember getting the same thing from the nurse's office at school when I was younger. "That's awesome," I tell him, even though the tooth looks gross. "Don't lose it." He snaps the treasure chest shut. "I won't." He shoves it back into his pocket and walks over to my bookcase. "Can I?" he asks. I nod. He picks up my old brown teddy bear and the small greenish one and jumps onto my bed with them. "What's Jack doing?" I ask him, and he shrugs as he adjusts the t-shirt on the brown bear. Probably lying on the couch with his eyes closed, listening to music again. I do my math problems while Brett plays on my bed. Eventually, I hear the front door open and close, and then dinner time noises. Uncle Evan is talking to Jack. "Don't you have homework?" he's asking. And Aunt Sally is saying something about setting the table. Brett puts the bear back on the shelf carefully, right next to my old picture books, and we walk to the dining room. White boxes of Chinese takeout are scattered on the gleaming glass table. Uncle Evan asks us how school was and did we do our homework. The same questions every day. I sit next to Brett and start opening containers as he shows Aunt Sally, Uncle Evan, and Jack his treasure chest and the hole in his mouth. "Make sure you put that tooth under your pillow for the tooth fairy," Uncle Evan reminds Brett as Jack rolls his eyes. "Jack," Aunt Sally warns, shooting him a look. "So," she says, "aside from Brett finally losing his tooth, did anything exciting happen today?" She pauses, looking at us expectantly, but no one answers. Her eyes look tired. "Hey, Ev," she says, like she just remembered something. "My prediction about Felix and that brief was absolutely right on. Can you believe that?" "I can," Uncle Evan responds. "So what happened?" And they go on discussing some legal situation while Brett shows me how he can poke his straw into the new window in the side of his mouth and drink his milk through it. Eventually, he almost spills and Uncle Evan makes him stop. I stare out at the floor-to-ceiling windows at Amelia's building and the darkening sky. Aunt Sally is stacking our plates into a pile when the phone rings. Jack jumps up and darts into the kitchen. "Hello?" he asks. There's a pause, and he comes around the corner into the dining room with the phone to his ear. He has a giant, annoying grin plastered on his stupid face. "Who's calling?" he asks, his eyes sparkling. "One moment, please," he sings in a phony, polite voice. He keeps the phone next to his face. Grayson, it seems your girlfriend Amelia is calling." I jump up. "Shut up, Jack," I say. I hold out my hand for the phone. He isn't budging. I look at Aunt Sally and Uncle Evan for help, but they're just looking back and forth between me and Jack, shocked. Jack, is it really for Grayson? Uncle Evan finally asks. Jack grins. I'm serious. It is. So why aren't you giving it to him? Brett asks, and Uncle Evan startles. Yes, Jack. Just hand him the phone, Uncle Evan says, glancing over at Aunt Sally, who now has a pleased smile on her face. Jack extends his arm slowly, and I snatch the phone from his hand. I walk to my room and sit on the edge of the bed. Hello? I almost whisper. Hi, it's me, Amelia, she says. Who is that? My cousin, Jack. Ignore him. He's a complete jerk. Yeah, seriously, Amelia says. How old is he? Does he go to Porter? Did you tell him I'm not your girlfriend? What? I asked. He called me your girlfriend. Did you tell him I wasn't? Oh, no, I will, I say. Okay, she pauses. Grayson, yeah? I realize I'm holding the phone to my ear with both hands. So I'm free tomorrow. What time do you want to go? You can go? Yeah, but my mom wants to know what time the bus leaves and where exactly we're going. I smile. Okay, great. We can leave whenever you want. The express buses run all the time on the weekends. It's in Lakeview on the corner of Broadway and Belmont. I don't know the exact address, but I can find out. It's called the Second Hand. Want me to look it up? No, it's okay. I'll tell her. Do you want to meet me at the bus stop at 10? Yeah, that's perfect, I say. Okay, see you tomorrow. Great. Bye. I end the call and sit back down on my bed for a minute, beaming. I stay that way until I feel up to explaining to Aunt Sally and Uncle Evan that I have plans with a friend for the first time since second grade.